Hello, my name is Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 24 of my Billions and Billions challenge. In today's episode, I will be playing with the mod Immersive Railroading, and hopefully by the end of the episode, I will have a locomotive done. So let's get started. The first thing that I should note is that I have laid a bunch of track between episodes, but I will be laying some of the track during this episode as well to show you. I just wasn't very familiar with laying track in this mod in survival mode, so I wanted to get fairly comfortable with that before I actually dove into this episode. Otherwise, I'd just be screwing around with that the entire time. So, you will need three things to lay track in the mod Immersive Railroading. The first one is the track blueprint. And the track blueprint is actually very easy to make. Let's look at the crafting recipe. It's just steel and paper. The next thing that you'll need will be rail segments. And to get a rail segment, you will need first the casting basin here, and then the railing machine, which is this machine right here. So to actually use this thing, there's a GUI here, and the first thing that you'll want to do is you'll need to throw in steel into this right here. So the easiest way I found is to just get blocks of steel and throw them in there, and obviously now my steel level is higher. Now to make rail castings, what you'll do is you'll come up to here, you'll click on this, you'll go to rail casting, and then you can either do a single casting or you can do a lot of castings. If you do a single casting, you just wait for it to pour. It makes this nice loud noise, and you can see the steel flowing right here. And then once that is done, the steel will stop flowing, and then you can pick this up. Now what you'll do with this is you'll bring it over here, and you'll just simply right click on this machine. It will make a really loud noise, and it will run that through, and on the other side you will get rail segments. So that's cool. You'll get 12 rail segments, at least for the standard gauge, for every rail casting that you have. So the next thing that you'll need are treated wood planks. I set up a system to make treated wood planks in the last episode, so I already have those. So the last thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to use your track blueprint, and you will likely want to click on air. And what this will do is it will bring up this GUI. By default, the settings that you'll see should be this right here. You'll have the track style default. You'll have the type being straight, whereas you could have a bunch of other things. You'll have no rail bed fill, and position fixed, direction flexible, gauge standard, and place blueprint and grade crossing off. So what I'm going to do now is, first of all, if I were to just go ahead and right click right here, it would go ahead and place down the rail. I don't want that to happen, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to X this place blueprint. Next off, I do want to change the rail bed fills to cobblestone, or the rail bed to cobblestone and the rail bed fill to cobblestone. I have plenty of cobblestone in my system, obviously. So, and I also think it looks kind of nice. So that's what I chose to go with. The next thing is that let's go ahead and let's actually throw down a switch here. I have this switch already planned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in 28. 28 is actually the radius of the turn that we're going to be using here. And so you can actually change the turn on the switch. And if you go to the turn type, it changes the same as well. So this number for any turn or for any switch is actually the radius length. So let's go ahead and go back to that switch. Excuse me. And we're going to go ahead and lay this down. This should be accurate. So I am in blueprint mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click. It's going to leave this shadow casting here. And I need to make sure that it's going to line up with everything. And it looks like it does. So that's fantastic. And what I want to do is, if I don't like this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold left click and I will delete it. If I do like it, however, let's go ahead and replace that. I'm going to hold shift and then hold left click, and it will place it down once I break that. So there we go. There is the track that I've laid so far. Let's go ahead and also lay that turn that I don't have done yet. So the turn is actually 21 length. So I have, like I said, plotted this all out already. My track is not complete yet. I will need to lay down a decent amount of track between episodes, but I did plot out this little area at my homeland here. So as you can see, the track actually stops there. But let's go ahead and complete this turn. And then between episodes, I will probably complete the track too. my other area that I'm going to be building. So there we go. That looks like it lines up just fine. So let's go ahead and once again, we'll shift, hold left click, and it will place. So I am running kind of low on treated wood planks with me. However, I have something like 70,000 in my ME system, probably more by now. It was 70,000 when I checked last time. So obviously this right here is going to be where I'm going to build my locomotives and my carts, or my cars for my trains. I have a bunch of switches set up. I do need to go ahead and set this switch up. So how you use switches is redstone levers, or just a redstone application of any type. So let's go ahead and set this lever here and make sure that that works. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set the lever away a little bit. The lever's going to be right here, and that's because trains can actually destroy things that are beside the tracks sometimes. So what we're going to do is we're going to have some conduit facades here. And I didn't mean to put that right there. I meant to put it here. So let's get our lever here, put it here, and then grab our Yater wrench, because what we need to do is we need to set that, and let's set it to be output on green, and then this can be input on green. This output does need to be strong signal. It does need this right here if you're going to use the redstone conduits from Ender.io. So let's go ahead and flip this switch, and it does work. As you can see, the track is moving when I flip the switch. So I am actually going to flip this on because I do want the trains to go, clockwise around this circle here. So I do want them to go left, but if I need to, I have the option to actually run it the other way from this bay right here. So let's go ahead and actually let's actually craft a fluid loader for right now. So if we go into the rail casting, let's do a fluid loader. Let's do a single casting. It needs, I believe, 8 steel. I believe this is the amount of steel ingots, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So the casting is done. Let's go ahead and grab that. I don't think there's anything else I need to do with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place this right here. Oh, it got me 8 of them, so that's cool. So this is a black hole tank with refined fuel from my building over in the background, and so I have a lot of fuel here, and so what I need to do is I actually need to get it to a locomotive that I will be powering. So let's grab some fluid duct here. Let's actually get rid of this. I should need 3 fluid ducts. That should be fine. Let's grab a resonance servo, and let's lay down these fluid duct. As you can see, it does connect up to this fluid loader here automatically, so that's cool. And then let's throw it on the servo. Let's turn it on, and we should see a little flow into the pipe, so that's cool. I don't know if the fluid loader itself has any sort of inventory, or if it is just sort of conveyance between the fluid duct or whatever you have hooked up and the locomotive or whatever, or the tank car or whatever. So I've decided that I am going to go with this locomotive right here. I've done a little bit of research. Obviously, the big boy would be the awesome choice here, but I actually want a diesel locomotive, and I say diesel in quotes because it's going to be running on refined fuel. So let's look at this. So there are lots of different castings here, but the casting that I need to make first is the frame. So let's go ahead and select that. It needs 144 steel. So this is actually going to take quite a while to cast. So I'm going to hit this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply cut away. And once that casting is done, I will be right back. So I have the locomotive frame. I actually didn't mean to grab it. It was still casting when I right-clicked because I wanted to make sure that to check how far along it was. And unfortunately, it was actually just finishing up as I clicked it, so I did grab it. So here we go. Let's just go ahead and right-click on the track right there. And actually, I almost was not able to place that. This thing is rather big. There is a bigger diesel locomotive, and the 4884 Big Boy, which is the large steam locomotive, is actually even bigger. So actually, it looks like I can go ahead and climb on that, but let's go ahead and grab another immersive railroading thing, and that would be the large wrench here, because I will be needing this. So I think if I right click it, it should tell me the next step here. So I need 2 bogies, which are castings, and 4 bogie wheels. So let's go ahead and go right here. So I need 2 bogies. So let's type repeat casting, and so actually, you know what I'm gonna do is let's go ahead and lower the sound here. And I'm not sure if it's going to be ambient or if it's going to be blocks or even something else. So let's... Okay, so that wasn't it. Let's try blocks next. And actually, I'm going to end up casting one more bogey than I needed because I have it on the... shoot. No. We're doing a bogey wheel. Let's go ahead and use that repeat casting mode for this. So where's my bogey wheel? Or did I not grab? Oh, there it is. Duh. Derp. Okay, so it's casting for such a short time that it's... And once again, I made too many. So actually, let's get rid of 2 of these. Actually, I'm just probably going to throw them in the trash. Okay, so there we go. So the next thing that we'll need are quite a few things here. Okay, so we're going to need some plates. Let's do the casting first. So we'll need the alternator. And let's go ahead and... Okay, I do have it on single. So somewhere along here, we should see the alternator. Single casting for that. Okay, that seems to have quieted down, thankfully. So it seems to be the blocks. Okay, so let's grab that. Let's throw it on there. And we obviously are using the wrench for that. And I still don't want to climb aboard because I still don't have everything here. So the next casting that I need is... let's go with a piston. Let's make 8 pistons. And do I need an engine block for this? I figured the engine block would be one of... Okay, yes, I do need an engine block. I was going to say, I figured the engine block would be one of the next things here. So the engine block does require quite a bit of steel here. Let's actually grab some more steel because I am slightly concerned that it will run out of steel at some point. So let's refill her up. So that looks pretty good. And to get out of the GUI, you can't simply hit E like most of the time you can with most GUIs. You actually have to hit escape. So just bear that in mind. Your Minecraft game hasn't frozen if you hit E. It's just you need to hit escape. Okay, so the next thing we need 8 piston castings. So let's go ahead and use repeat casting for this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there we go. So I might have one extra here. And what's something I haven't cast yet? I've cast everything I need, it looks like. I just need some plates, I think. So, okay, yeah, I did make one extra. That's fine. So let's go ahead and add all of these things. I can't add them because I actually need to bring them over to the power hammer here. Okay, so I didn't know that this machine actually also has a GUI. So it's not even giving me a name for this. Oh well, it doesn't really matter as long as it works. So what I'm gonna do is let's go ahead and throw away the things that I don't need because I actually made too many of them, like the boogie wheel and then the piston. And then let's continue to grab these. So I actually haven't built this locomotive yet in survival. In creative mode, it's just real easy. You can just place them down. This thing is still loud. Wow. Thankfully, we're almost done with it, I think. So we have one more. And in case you didn't notice, I did hook up all of these machines to power between episodes. I don't know if I mentioned that I was going to do that or not at the end of last episode, but I did go ahead and do that. It's just a simple matter of hooking them up. So now I'm going to need some plates. So I need some large plates, some medium plates, and some small plates. And so to make plates, I actually need blocks of steel, I believe. So let's grab some blocks of steel. And let's put them right here for right now. Did it not throw away this piston, or did I not throw away that piston? And so I need to... Okay, so what I need are... first, let's make the medium plate and the small plate. So for every block of steel you give this machine, it will actually give you more small plates and more medium plates. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but for every block of steel, I think it will get one large plate. Did it finish this? Did it give me the plate? It didn't give me anything, did it? I thought it would give me something. Maybe I have to have an empty hand. I do. Okay, so that was what was going on there. Okay, so I got 4 medium plates. And let's grab some more. And let's do the small plates next. And let's actually kind of juggle my inventory a little bit, because I do need this empty hand to actually grab the items out. You can automate this machine. I think this would be the output end and the other would be the input end. Or maybe you can use either. But there's some small plates. Let's go ahead and start making some large plates. For each steel block that I give it, it will make one large plate, I believe. So this is going to be a little bit more time intensive here. Let's double check how many of these large plates I actually need. And I should have grabbed that last one, but that's okay. Okay, so I need, it looks like 13 large plates. So I already have one. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab the rest of the large plates off camera. It's just going to be a monotonous process of me throwing in blocks of steel in this plating machine. And once I have those 13 large plates, I will be right back. So finally I have my large plates made. At least I believe I do. So let's go ahead and right click. And it looks like that was the final steps there. So the next thing that I need to do is let's shift right click on this, and that allows me to see the inventory. It is filling up with refined fuel, so that's cool. And then if I just simply right click on it, I should enter the locomotive. So the first thing that I want to do now is I want to hit the plus key, and that will turn it on. So you should have heard a noise there, and as you can see in the bottom left corner of the screen, the temperature is rising, so that is fantastic. And as of right now, I don't think I can drive it. I think I need to wait till its temperature comes up just a little bit more, but I should be able to drive it in short order. Now, I need to make sure that this switch is actually in the correct position here. And I need to get rid of the skeleton because he's annoying. And let's get rid of this stuff that he just gave me. So the switch is in the correct position. The locomotive is actually backwards. There's actually a way to fix this though. I'm gonna back it up past this switch over here, and let's actually make sure my switches are in the right spots. I can back it up past the switch, bring it around this bend, and then bring it back. And I should have it facing the correct way because I do want it to be going this. I want it to be going clockwise around this once all is said and done. Okay, so I just... oh, I should mention that I do have a magnet with me. I haven't used that earlier on in the series. I've used it some off camera, but yeah. Magnets are kind of cool, especially if you're mining large areas, just to make sure that the drops aren't spread all over the ground. So like I was doing, I need to make sure this switch is in the proper location, so it is now. So I should be able to back up and actually... yeah, I need to switch this one as well. So this thing might be warmed up by now. It should be. Okay, so I should be able to drive it now. So how you control this are the number keys on the right side of your keyboard. So fantastic. I went where I wanted. So the 2 key is throttle down or throttle negative. The 5 key is throttle neutral. The 8 key is throttle up. And then the 4 key is brake to 0. The 1 key is brake down, and the 7 key is brake up. Okay, so that's cool. Let's hop out of this thing, and we need to hit those. We need to hit this switch right here, and then I'll probably. I don't know if I need to hit that switch over there or not. So let's hit that switch. So this should bring us around now, and I just want to back it up back into its bay. Actually, I don't even need to do that for right now. because I need to start building some carts for it. So let's make sure that this is set to straight and that's set to straight. That is fantastic. So let's hop into this thing and drive it past this last switch here. At some point, I might make a switcher locomotive, because using my primary locomotive to actually get all the cars hooked up to the train might be kind of a pain in the butt. But it is an option. So let's go ahead and motor this thing up. And that's probably fast enough. So yeah. This is a fantastically cool mod, to be honest. It's not gonna be super mega useful, although I am going to be using it, obviously. But because of how little the actual cart can hold, because they're huge and they don't hold that much, I think the hopper cart I'm going to be using a lot of, I think it holds. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that was the thing. I actually wanted to shut this thing down, but that's just not happening. No. Okay, Okay, I need to shut that off. That was the minus key, by the way. I kind of figured that if the plus key turned on, the minus key might actually turn it off, but that wasn't the case. So I will need to keep an eye on the fuel levels, because it does burn fuel as it is in idle mode. But that's cool for right now. You know what? If I have time, I do want to go ahead and make a cart for it, a boxcar. I think I'm going to be making the 70T boxcars. So let's go ahead and see if we can't do that real fast. They should be a lot less complicated than the locomotives. So I'm going to hit escape here, and it will actually bring me back. So the car I want is called something like the 70T boxcar. So we're getting close. There it is. Okay, so I'm not sure what we need for this. First, obviously, we do want to cast the frame. And so, yeah, this is going to use a whole lot less steel, 12 for the frame, whereas the other one used like 130 or 140 something, I think. So let's grab that. Let's go ahead and place this bad boy down. And we can just place it right there. That's fine. So what do we need for this? Because I really don't know. So I need bogey wheels and bogey castings. So I need 2 bogies and 4 bogey wheels. So that's fantastic. Okay, so let's change to the bogey wheels here. Oh, shoot. And what do I have? 3? I need 1 more. And I didn't grab it. Okay, so now let's add that stuff. Okay, so I need 9 large plates. And that actually might be it, to be honest. So I did set up a little automation for this machine right here. This is my input chest. So I actually did make some extra large plates for my locomotive, so I might have just enough to do this. Okay, so I need 9. Let's go ahead and put those back. And then I'm kind of hoping that this is it for the cart. It is. Cool. So this is a completed cart. So let's go ahead and hook this up to my locomotive. So I do need to switch this over. And then I need to make sure to have the switch on as well, or this switch in the proper location. And that will need to be toggled. And then let's just back her up. So this is gonna be a little bit hard not backing up too far here, because I don't have very good visibility. Let's actually go over to the side of the cab, and let's throttle her down so that we go backwards. Oh, my brake's on. Whoops. Yeah, that's why we weren't moving very well. Okay, so we should go around this current turn here. Good. Yeah, I am going to make some sort of shunting locomotive here, because doing this every time I build new cars is going to be a pain. But, okay, so I applied a little too much brake there. Okay, I think I might actually be hooked up. Yeah, looks like I am. So let's go ahead and pull this thing out. and that is more throttle than I really need. So yep, we're hooked up. So that's cool. Yeah, and this is just kind of an intro to the mod Immersive Railroading. Really cool mod. Hopefully I can make good use of it. It is going to be a little bit difficult to do well anyways. And my connection looks a little wonky there because my turns are a little tight right here. But that's fine because these turns are meant to be taken at very slow speed. So let's go ahead and break her up. Yeah, so... Yeah, and that connection looks a little wonky since I stopped on the turn, but they are connected, as you saw. So, yeah, that is the mod Immersive Railroading. So in today's episode, I built a locomotive, and I built the hopper cart there. I also introduced you to a few of the mechanics of the mod Immersive Railroading. If you are interested in the mod Immersive Railroading, there are a few tutorials on YouTube that you can look into that will give you better direction than I did today. Obviously, I just kind of scraped the surface. I will be making a bunch of the 70T hopper cars in the future. They do hold, I think, 108 stacks of items each, which obviously isn't a lot for how big the thing is, but I think it'll look cool when it's done, and yeah. So anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to drop a like down below, and if you enjoy watching automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, that's typically what I do, and what I will be doing with this railroad here. So stay tuned. And consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.